Thanks for being here. We're excited to get game week started. We've been waiting on this day since we got here in January. We've been working hard and building great teammates, great team leaders since we've got here in the spring. I think we've made unbelievable strides in doing that and coming together more as a football team. I thought we made a major jump between spring ball and fall camp, and that's a testament to our players. I thought Coach Womack did an unbelievable job this summer. The guys worked hard this summer, and it showed when we started camp in August. I feel like we had an overall good camp. We're having guys step up and taking on different leadership roles that we've had to do. Right now, we're trying to keep guys fresh as possible, so when we get out there on Saturday, we can really fly around. We have a ton of respect for Coach Morris and his team. This being their second year in their system, there's no doubt in my mind he'll have them on track and going to be much improved from this past season. And our team and our staff are looking forward to the challenge on Saturday. We hope the students and fans come to support this team and just see exactly what we're building. From there, we'll take questions.
Talk a little bit about SMU and the challenges that they will present for you guys.
Well, I think overall, each side of the ball poses different challenges. I think offensively, it's an offense that's going to present a lot of different problems. Matt Davis does an unbelievable job of not only being consistent in the passing game, but more importantly, he forces you to add extra hats within the run game because of the type of runner that he is. The really thing that you look on offense, they're young but very talented at the skill position. Obviously their receiver, Cortland Sutton, he's a big target. He may be one of the better receivers that we see this entire season. And so there's no doubt they have some weapons. On defense, they're going to be big up front. They're obviously have a returning D tackle and D end that are, I think, high quality players. They're in the back end, they're a little bit young in a couple different spots, but also getting Horace Richardson back at the corner position will really help. He's got a lot of experience. And then also Darian, the safety, who's another experienced guys in the back end. And again, it's every week you're going to face different players that are high quality on different teams, and that's what you come here for. You come here to challenge yourself, and it'll be a great challenge, but we're all looking forward, and it'll be a lot of fun.
On a personal note, have you given yourself time to just kind of reflect on the fact that this is your first game week as a head coach?
Yeah, I've had plenty of time from January till now. Doing a lot of self-reflection, but no, we're excited. I think we've started the last couple weeks. It's really started coming up pretty quick because we started our mock game week. We started game planning for SMU. We had a week to do that this past week, just to, with everybody being new, we want to make sure that everybody is on the same page of what a practice week looks like. What our expectations for our look squads are, scout teams, and then really just trying to get to the mock game in different situations, how we're coming out of the tunnel, where we're at in the locker room during halftime, all the different coaches being up and down from the press box to the field. So there's a lot of things to get prepared for, which we did a lot of that stuff last week. So yeah, it's up on us.
What have you learned about the North Texas SMU rivalry since you've been here?
Well, one, it's a crosstown rival. I mean, it's not too far down the road, and anytime you have an opponent that's right up the road, there's obviously going to be a lot of passion between the fans and the universities, and so there's nothing better than great rivalries, and we want to embrace them, and we love the challenges. And at the end of the day, we want to go out there and compete and play as hard as we possibly can together as a family. And at the end of the day, all the rest will take care of itself. But I love the fact that people call it a rivalry.
You get a sense that this is important to your players and your fans, this particular game?
Yeah, especially the fans, and it is important to our players. But, sometimes with coaches and players, they're all important. Obviously, whatever game that week, we talk to our players a lot about focusing in on one opponent at a time. And so if you're doing that, every week's a rivalry. Every week, you're trying to get up to play your best. But obviously, we're very passionate about this game. I know our fans are very passionate about this game for a lot of different reasons. So we'll treat it the right way for sure.
How's the offensive line coming together? You mentioned that they were moving around a lot trying to get settled in. How did they come together here now we're in game week?
Good. Just like all the other guys, it takes reps, especially at that position. It's a group that, all five of those guys have to play well on an individual play in order for us to be successful. It all starts up front, and it's probably the hardest position to come together and build that chemistry and that balance. But once it comes together, it'll be one of your biggest strengths in the overall program, just because of what they have to do, play in and play out. Again, they're a group of men that if there's mistakes up front, everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. When offenses are out there clicking and making big time plays, no one really recognizes what they do up front. So it's a not very a very rewarding position, but make no mistake, it's the most important position on the offense. So those guys they're building that chemistry. We're getting them kind of more in the last couple of weeks, getting them more into focusing on our game plan and making sure that the guys that we have out there are building chemistry.
You settle on Alec Morris as your starter here on the 2 deep. What went into that decision, and how do you feel about him going into the SMU?
I feel good. I think he's gotten better since, obviously, he's gotten a lot better since he initially got here this past January. Just learning the new system, coming in and really not only learning the new system, learning where to go to class, learning a lot of different things. So it's never easy. But I thought his biggest strides were thought he had a solid spring. Not great. I thought his biggest strides were from spring ball to fall camp. I thought he came back. You really saw, his leadership ability. I thought he did a great job getting our guys out there this summer and being a guy that was holding guys accountable, and it really, really showed, the first couple weeks of fall camp. We were a lot better, I felt like, in the first couple weeks of fall camp than we ever were in the spring, even at the end. So, I feel, I think he's had a really solid camp. There's a couple days, where those guys maybe get a little bit sore. But overall, I thought he was really solid.
What was watching his adjustment to the new system like as a coach? Watching Alec get adjusted to the spread, what was that like as a coach?
Well, it's frustrating watching anybody adjust to a system, especially when as coaches you see it, you watch it all day long. Your system. It's pretty easy to and it's pretty easy to us because we've been in it for so long. But he's competitive. He's a grinder. He knows what it looks like. He's been on not only at Alabama but in high school. At Allen, he's been on successful teams and teams that have won championships, and he knows how he's supposed to prepare. And I've really liked watching him grow within the system, and not only within the system but with his teammates. That's as important as anything.
Does anyone stand out to you that maybe during spring or early in the fall you probably didn't have high expectations for, but he's forced his way into being a significant contributor for you?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few guys that I've been impressed with. One, make no mistake, I didn't have high expectations for Mason Fine in the sense of coming here as a true freshman. and being as good as he was. I thought obviously he still has a long way to go in developing and continuing to learn the offense, but I was impressed with him as any freshman quarterback I've been around a long time. I think a guy like Rico Busi, freshman receiver at Lawton, has had a really solid camp. Just his length and his speed. He's been really consistent. On defense, you look at Kyrie Muhammad has done, and Jamil Moore, both those guys in the back end. They've gotten a lot of reps. And have really been impressed with those guys and the things that they're doing. Tillman Johnson is a guy that I continue to talk about on defense that at times was, for us, unblockable. And when he's in there and he decides to come off the ball, I think he's got a really good first step and a really good motor. And there's a lot of guys. I think there's so much growth, again, since – I was laughing with Graham the other day about, and I've had to do it a few different times, but just the first week of spring ball, it's always the most unnerving, I guess. It's you look out there and like, whoa, we got a long way to go. And I'm impressed. These men have really bought in. They've competed. They've worked hard, and they're growing. And it's all you can ask for. They come to work every single day, and they work their tails off, and I'm proud of them.
With Mason listed as the backup, do you anticipate trying to get him playing time, or will he only play if there's an issue with Alec?
Some of that we're still talking about. Obviously, I'd imagine he'll. I have no problem just playing him. At the end of the day. For a couple different reasons. It's a long season, and two, getting him that game experience because I think he can handle it. If I didn't think he could handle it, if I didn't think he was ready, I would not do it. Obviously, you would love to get the opportunity to redshirt him and understand the future is going to be bright. But I just right now we're going. It's hard because we're going back and forth, but there's no doubt in my mind. I feel very comfortable putting him in there, and we're not going to lose much.
How do you balance that? One, you believe he's ready to go, but you've got a senior that you're confident in ahead of him, and the balance of burning that redshirt year if you do use him this year.
It's tough, it really is, because what you don't want to happen is if something were to happen game 8, 9, or 10, and that's where it's really, then you're in position to do, achieve some of our goals and achieve our mission, and it's tough to pull a red shirt on a kid like that with 3 or 4 games remaining. So you'll never know. It's at the end of the year whether we look up and we've redshirted him and we've gotten been successful in keeping guys healthy. Or you can also look at it in the fact that he'll be even better next year because he's had that game experience. So it's not easy. It's not an easy decision, and some of that we're still going to sit down and talk with him a little bit as well, make sure that we're all on the same page.
How's the health of this team this morning?
I think good overall. I thought it was really good. We haven't had many guys that have missed any significant time other than a couple. But overall, it's probably been the most healthy I've came out of a fall camp. And again, with the depth that we have, we had to make sure we did keep them healthy. 1 and 2, they're taking a lot of reps, and so we're making sure we have to get them back and get their legs back on them. So we want to make sure that they're playing extremely fast on Saturday.
Is Chad going to be healthy for this game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he'd be fine. He's came back and he missed some the early part of camp, but he's been back. He's been going through everything, and he's moving around great.
You made the decision to switch Kenny Byers to wide receiver. Talk about the thought process there, and obviously it's worked out. He's at the top of your depth chart.
Well, I felt like that was a position he could really help us, and to be honest with you, I felt like it was a position he could. It was more of a need for this football team, and the thing I love about Kenny is he's what we talk about. We talk about we want selfless guys in this room who are putting their teammates before themselves, and he's done that, and he's worked extremely hard at getting better at that position, and he's done some really good things, and there's a reason why he's going to be starting at that position.
Any late additions with this team at all?
Vito, honestly, God, sometimes I don't remember who's gotten here and who hadn't, just because it's they've already in my mind. I've already been here, so if you ask me about a couple guys, maybe I can tell you. But
well, I mean, the big JUCO defensive end from California. I mean, it's okay.
With a guy like Alec Morris in his situation, coming here from Bama after limited snaps, do you think that he is game fresh and game ready? And how tough was that, you think, for him to stay game ready but not getting game snaps in situations like that?
Well, he better always be game ready, no matter where he's been, because you're one play away from being the guy. And so I don't think there's any doubt he's been game ready. Just the type of kid he is, or man he is. Now, he'll have to knock off some rust. The biggest thing is being patient, understanding that you got to manage the football game. You don't have to be the hero. You let your playmakers make plays around you, and relax and go play. Still just at the end of the day, do your job, and you don't have to do. Just because on game day you don't have to do anything special. If it was good enough in practice, and I'm telling you it's good enough in practice, it's good enough in the game. So just go out and relax and play, and I think he'll do that.
You guys get Jarian back after he missed all spring. Has he worked himself back to the point where he's going to help you guys this year?
Who's that?
Jarian Roberts, the defensive.
Yeah. It was great to get you because we didn't have him in the spring. And it was great, not only because of the things that the athleticism he brings at that position, but also, just being a great teammate. He brings a lot of energy to that group, and not only that group, but the entire defense. And I've been very impressed of watching him out there running around early on, and he's having fun. I mean, he understands that these opportunities aren't guaranteed, and you got to come make the most out of it each and every day. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy to be around, and a lot of guys on our team really look up to him. So it's great to have him back.
Well, he led you guys in sacks last year. Do you see the talent that enabled him to do that? And is he back to the level where he can do that again?
I think so. I do. He's looked really good in practice, and just making sure that the biggest thing for us was making sure he didn't come back too quick, not putting too much on him too early. But I've really liked what I've seen out of him since he has come back, and another guy that I've been really impressed with this fall camp has been Jared Combs, and I think he also gives you something on that other edge. So I feel good about where we are up front. Again, now it's about going out there and making plays, and can you do it when the bullets are flying?
You still think that group up front defensively could be one of your better units heading into the season?
I do. If they, again, the next challenge is going to be going out and seeing how everybody reacts in the game. It'll be the first game together, and again, making sure they understand, just stay relaxed, and at the end of the day, come out of that tunnel together. We're all in this together. We're all going to pull the rope in the same direction. Do your job. And if you don't try to do too much, you just got to do your job. No one has to be do anything earth-shattering. Just do your job. And I think if they do that, that group has a lot of potential.
You put DeMonte on the 2 deep, so that really worked out bringing him in the end.
Yeah, I think it didn't. Obviously, it did. Just giving us that added depth and big guy up front that he's gonna be hard to move around, And so we're always looking for depth at that position. It's one of the hardest positions, obviously, out there to find, and you get guys that you feel like fit your system and can help you. It's going to be hard for me to ever turn down a really good defensive line.
Has Terry and Goree stepped up and helped lead this kind of young wide receiver corps?
He's had the most consistent fall camp by far. I really like the things he's doing. He's worked hard, and I'm excited to watch him go play. At the end of the day, it's time to do it against somebody else, and that's what I think our guys are really excited about, going out and competing against another team. But I have been excited about the things I've seen from practice. Now he just has to carry it over to Saturday.
What changes has he made from spring to fall camp in his game?
Way more consistent. He's not hesitant. He's playing faster, and he's catching the football. At that position, you can play fast and catch the football, you'll be okay.
Sam Rice is playing his whole team. He started out at SMU. Has he mentioned it, talked about it?
We haven't. It's not about that. It's really about going out there and being with your teammates and whoever they put in front of you, going out and competing and seeing how you stack up. So he's gotten a lot of reps, a couple different positions. And depending on week in and week out, he's a guy that has some experience, that understands the offense, that depending on what we may have to do, and depending on where he'll play, but he's obviously one of our better guys up front.
You have him listed at guard. You kind of bounced him back and forth there between guard and center. Do you still anticipate that you're going to play in both spots this year, depending on the week?
Yes, he'll play both spots.
You got the new AD in. He's, just kind of getting settled in here. But do you think he's really going to be somebody that kind of helps change the atmosphere of this place? Do you look forward to working with him? Baker?
Oh, absolutely. When just like him, I'm sure he did a lot of research on me throughout the process and the interview process, and I did a lot of research on him as well. Guys that were possibilities in coming in here, because it's such an important, so important to be on the same page and to have great communication. And he had worked previously with a couple guys that I'm pretty close to, and football coaches, and just the things that they talked about, and the way he cared about not only the importance of football, but also the way he took care of the student athletes. And it's important to him to make sure that they're given everything necessary to be successful. That's our jobs, to help those guys out. And from the time he walked in the door and we've sat down and had some conversation, very easy to communicate with. And there's no doubt we got a bright future ahead of us with Ren.
Good to start out at home. You get that opportunity. That opportunity hasn't often come down the pipe at this place, especially 2 in a row at home. And does that really give you a bit of an advantage, especially your first year?
I don't know what kind of advantage it gets. Obviously statistics show that, if you're at home and you got a great crowd and you can feed off that energy of your students and your fan base, it can obviously be an advantage, and that's what we're looking forward to. It's a place that you always love playing at home in front of your fans, and it's a place where you're extremely comfortable. There's not having to change a bunch of stuff, and travel, and once you get there and trying to figure out where to go, and some of those distractions that can be distractions if you allow them. So, I think it's a great opportunity to be at home the first couple, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to, whether you're playing on the road or playing at home, you're going to have to play, and you got to get your guys wired in and focused in on eliminating distractions and going out there and, again, playing as hard as possible together as one football team.
Morris is in his second year down there at SMU, where you're in your first. Does that give them a bit of a jump, you think, just in general?
I don't know. I really don't. I'm not extremely worried about year one, year two. All I can do is prepare and go get after it and see where you stand. Good. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.